folks, BENTHELOONEY here. A little secret about me. I'm a commercial junkie. I love looking up old commercial breaks and going on a trip through nostalgia land. But what can increase the impact of a commercial is putting somebody familiar in to get your attention and help you remember it better. No, not just those celebrities you see during the Super Bowl. I'm talking about cartoon characters. Animation has crossed over into mainstream advertising for years, and it's exciting to see your favorite characters in between the shows you watch, not just the show itself. For this video, I'll be looking at commercials starring our favorite cartoon characters. They have to be characters from established media before they appeared in advertising, so cereal mascots won't count. Except for two I can think of off the top of my head, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So, sit back, grab your favorite beverage and snack. Let's look at commercials starring cartoon characters. Let's start off with a more recent one, starring everybody's favorite wacky cartoon star, Mark Wahlberg. In this ad for DirecTV, Marky Mark talks about the benefits of having a cable box in every room, but who cares about that? What really made this commercial for me when I first saw it was a cameo from a certain blue cat.
And when we're not in those rooms, we want our shows to go with us.
Anywhere?
You got that right, kid show thing.
Would you imagine Gumball appearing in a commercial? I know I didn't. I guess SpongeBob was busy that weekend. However, people were quick to point out that Mark just refers to Gumball as a kid show thing. He's a cat, Marky Moo. A cat. C-A-T. You know, like this. Though, to be fair, I had a hard time telling what Gumball was my first time seeing him too. A cute little ad and a great start to the video.
Switching to
Oh, I remember this one.
15% or more on car insurance? Does Elmer Fudd have trouble with the letter R?
Shh! I'm hunting wabbits.
Cut. Rabbits.
Wabbits.
Rabbits.
Wabbits?
Rabbits with an R.
Oh, this director's starting to rub me the wrong way.
Those were the days when making fun of people's speech impediments were funny. Now, it's still funny. I love this ad because they do a good job of recreating that Looney Tunes style of animation and backgrounds. And Billy West is always great as Elmer. A classic in the making. But the boys at Geico are big fans of Looney Tunes.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Would Foghorn Leghorn make a really bad book narrator?
It was the best of times, it was the, I say, worst of times. And by worst, I'm talking as bad, I say as bad as my Aunt Jenny's corn pudding. Anyway, it was, I say it was the
Geico, 15 minutes could save you.
Henry Hawk then proceeds to kill Foggy. I like this one even better than the one with Elmer. Once again, the animation is fantastic, and I believe the characters are actually there. Also, old Foggy jabbering on and on really fits his character and helps paint the comedy of the scenario. Yet another great one from the boys at Geico.
Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We'll come back to the Looney Tunes later. Next, let's move on to commercials starring characters that have become just as iconic, if not more, than the show they came from.
Post fruity Pebble cereal, part of this complete breakfast.
The Pebbles commercials. But you said no cereal mascots. But the Flintstones was the Simpsons of its day. It was everywhere in terms of popularity, so it made sense to have breakfast cereal made based off of them. So these commercials match my criteria. These gems weren't just meant to sell you sugary cereals. Oh no, they were many episodes of the show. They usually involved Barney coming up with a scheme to try to get Fred's box of Pebbles. And his plans were pretty simple, from dressing up as a rapper.
Who are you? I'm the master rapper and I'm here to sing. I love fruity pebbles in a major way.
To pretty complex, such as appearing on a game show, being asked a question, tricking Fred into coming onto the game show, and playing dumb enough for Fred to give him a cereal in order for him to answer the question. Why don't you just buy your own box? No, that's not a joke, that's a legit question. It's kept me up at night over the years. No matter the reason, these commercials were always fun to watch, because you had no idea what was going to happen next. Heck, they got so popular, they even made a remix commercial in 2002. Commercials with a remix. That just goes to show their lasting legacy. After years of feuding over a kid's cereal, Fred and Barney finally settled down and decided to enjoy Pebbles together. But that's when these commercials got really weird. What do I mean? Just watch.
Coco-licious. Fact is, Bon, only Pebbles let you spread 64 chocolatey pieces over your whole tongue. To rock your whole mouth. Yeah.
Huh, what happens with 12?
Not a good idea.
12's not enough, Fred.
Why do I feel like a Pee Wee Herman PSA should air after this? Is it just me, or is Pebble starting to sound more like drugs? I mean, come on, Fred talks to you in these commercials like he's instructing you on how to take them. I mean, eat them. Feels like I'm watching a meth tutorial. Remember, kids, you gotta take the right amount, or else you'll have a bad trip and end up like Barney. You don't want to end up like Barney. Pebble's cereal. Kids, just stick to Raisin Bran.
Fruity Pebbles rocks your whole mouth.
This is crack.
Hey, Bart.
Of course, you can't talk about cartoon characters in commercials without mentioning probably the most famous selling out of a franchise, Bart Simpson's Butterfinger ads. Like the Pebbles ads, these commercials usually involved Homer or various Simpsons characters trying to steal Bart's Butterfingers.
My little buddy's sleeping like a baby. You won't mind if I take a bite of his crispity, crunchity peanut.
Hasn't anybody in any of these commercials ever heard of a store?
Open sesame.
Oh, thank goodness. Somebody's actually going to a store on one of these things and getting their own...
Joe, we're down to the last Butterfinger.
The last Butterfinger!
Well, no wonder why everybody needs to steal Bart's candy. Must be a Butterfinger shortage going on. It's worth noting that Bart doesn't just love Butterfingers. He's flat out addicted to them. Watch what he says when Lisa tries to take some.
I have 15 Butterfinger BBs, and I take 5 of them. What do you have left? One less, sister.
If you steal my Butterfingers, I'll deck you. And look at this trippy nightmare he has involves everybody taking his Butterfingers.
You're such a brat, Bart. What? Yeah, you won't share your new Butterfinger BB.
Oh, we're taking them.
Bart, I think you have a problem. And I just got over 2 childhood cartoon characters being addicted to something. I don't need another one. Joking aside, I loved these commercials as a kid. I was a Simpsons fanatic growing up, still am today, and I bought anything with the Simpsons on it. And I think it's no coincidence Butterfinger is my favorite candy. The Simpsons Butterfinger commercials are always fun to watch, and I never get tired of revisiting them.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Why don't we take a look at ads based off my favorite cartoon of all time? There was a period when I was still a baby, when Rocky and Bullwinkle did a tie-in with Taco Bell. In these ads, Boris and Natasha are always trying to sell McBoris burgers, an obvious jab at McDonald's, and the heads of Taco Bell marketing came up with the perfect way to get people to stop eating burgers.
Burgers are boring! Burger is so boring, grass growing is exciting.
You marketing heads all got together to try to get people to eat Taco Bell instead of McDonald's. And the best you could come up with is burgers are boring? That's an insult hipsters use when they can't find an objectively bad thing to say about a popular movie they don't like. And for the record, no, burgers ain't boring. They're delicious. So, Boris and Natasha are always causing trouble, and the only way to stop them is the delicious crunch of Taco Bell.
The huge crunch awakens Bullwinkle, who cleverly escapes.
I love it when he called me clever. By the bear.
Here, Bullwinkle, try this.
The colossal crunch awoke the town from their boredom, and they tarred and feathered the 2 culprits.
So the main thing to take from these commercials is Taco Bell solves all your problems. Oh man, I have heart disease from eating too much Taco Bell. Save me, Taco Bell! Ah, I feel much better all... But besides all that, these commercials told a quick story and style of the cartoon, and did a good job of matching the offbeat humor of the show. I may have missed out on these when they were first airing, but it was fun to dig them up and see them for the first time. So how about a commercial with Rocky and Bullwinkle in it that I was able to see when it first aired?
Geico's been helping people save money for over 75 years. They've really stood the test of time, much like these majestic Rocky Mountains, which must be named after the Rocky...
That would be Rocky the Flying Squirrel, Mr. Gecko, sir. Obviously.
Come on, Bullwinkle. They're named after...
First President George Rockington.
That doesn't even make any sense, Mr. Winkle.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Well, That was awkward. I don't get it. Geico usually makes funny ads. What went wrong here? Unless that was the point. Were they trying to say Rocky and Bullwinkle isn't funny? But it is funny. So why then? I'm thinking too much about this. Let's move on. Alright, time to look at a commercial with Disney characters in it. Starts out with some kids waking up in the middle of Christmas Eve night. Santa leaves them a Disney video and...
Let me out of here. Let me introduce my friends.
Oh, somebody drank too much eggnog. They're seeing cartoon characters again. Actually, now that I think about it, this is a very odd commercial. You'd think it's a Disney ad, but then at the last minute, it turns into a Coca-Cola ad. Have you ever seen two commercials fighting against each other for one 30-second TV spot? I love how the Disney characters just pop up and then towards the end, Santa comes in and is like, "Bitches, this is my commercial. Get out or I'll scalp you with my ho-ho-ho!" I make fun, but this is still a cute and fascinating ad. I think I'm going to make it a Christmas tradition of mine to watch it every year from now on. But, without a doubt, I still think a lot of Coke influenced this commercial. I mean, I don't mean the drink.
Bring home the magic of Disney and Coca-Cola Classic.
This is crack.
Let's get back to Looney Tunes, shall we? This is a good one.
Wow, Daffy Duck! You're the greatest!
Whoa! Stop the presses. Somebody other than me thinks Daffy Duck is the best Looney Tune. A chick, no less. I'm putting a ring on that finger. But then this commercial turns into "Are you kidding me" territory.
Thanks. Take a check.
Sure, Daffy. Just need some ID.
ID? You're asking one of the most famous cartoon characters for an ID? I'm pretty sure there ain't that many Daffy Ducks in the world. Why would a cartoon character even need ID for? They ain't born, they're drawn. In fact, what was he doing in a store without his ID anyway? Is it really that hard for him to just pull it out of his pocket and... I'm thinking too much about this, ain't I? Of course, Bugs comes in showing off his fancy smancy Visa card, and he goes on his merry way while Daffy becomes his usual slapstick foil self. Yeah, not much worth noting in this ad after that ID question. Oh well, this one's another funny ad with great animation and that Looney Toony goodness I love.
You're despicable.
Visa check card works just like the check, only better.
Put 'em maroon.
Speaking of Bugs Bunny, how about this two-part commercial where he tried to help out another famous bunny, the Trix rabbit? His plan is to disguise the cereal-starved rabbit as Bugs in order to convince the kids to give him some dang cereal. Will this be the day the Trix rabbit finally gets his high fructose artificial flavored fruit cereal? Alright, in the second part, they reveal the disguise. Let's see how much that hard work paid off.
Not bad for an amateur. Disguised as me, you're sure to get some tricks.
Really? That was the best you could come up with? I can't tell that's the Trix rabbit. That's totally Bugs Bunny. If you ask me, he should have disguised him as Daffy. Chicks really dig him. So the Trix rabbit is close to getting the cereal when he blows his own cover. So close. But the nail in the coffin is Bugs' reaction.
I prefer a happy ending.
Man, fuck you, Bugs. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves for what mankind has been building up for. Time travel, the cure for cancer, space colonies? No. I'm talking about this 1-minute ad from 2015 Super Bowl, featuring cartoon characters you'd least expect. Hang tight, it's coming.
And the ball game's going to come down to this.
Just a little bit longer. Bear with me. That was cool, but not it. Keep those keisters planted. Here it comes. Did you see? Did you see? Holy smokes, that was epic. My Little Pony in the Super Bowl. 20 years ago, would you have ever expected ponies in the Super Bowl? Granted, it was only 1 second, but it was the best 1 second of the entire game. Who even won? And don't act like you did not just go to Wikipedia to check. And don't say it was the Patriots. That's what people say when they don't know who wins the Super Bowl. Oh, it actually was the Patriots? Damn Patriots. Anyway, other than the Patriots winning, that's what you remember from this Super Bowl. This was the moment My Little Pony Friendship is Magic really showed the hold it has on pop culture. For years, skeptics have tried to ignore it and act like it was just some little cult gathering around a cartoon for little girls that has no value. But this ad showed the world, oh yeah, these ponies mean business. Say what you want about the show or the fan base, but for 1 second in time, the whole world was watching, and you got to see firsthand just how massive it is. There's no doubt it made you react. Whether it be the excitement you felt seeing your favorite multicolored horses during the biggest game of the year, or the disgust you felt knowing you're never going to get away from this franchise. Oh, and the penguins from Madagascar were in this too. But who cares about them? Ponies in the Super Bowl. We may never see a more surreal yet epic moment in our lifetime. As stated before, the Flintstones were massively popular, and they were in advertising way before the Pebbles commercials. Let's take a look at one from the 60s.
They sure work hard, don't they, Barney? Yeah? I hate to see them work so hard. Yeah, me too. Let's go around back where we can't see them.
Heh. Typical Flintstones humor. We're off to a great start.
Gee, we ought to do something, Fred. Okay. How's about taking a nap? Hey, I got a better idea.
So, what's this ad gonna sell? Want-a-day vitamins, Coke, or...
Let's take a Winston break.
What?
That's it! Winston is the one filter cigarette that delivers flavor 20 times a pack. Winston's got that filter blend.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, Barney, Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should.
Childhood ruined, childhood ruined. If it wasn't ruined before, it's ruined now.
Yeah. The Flintstones sold products that kill nearly 500,000 people a year. You know, this ad from before suddenly makes more sense.
To rock your whole mouth, yeah.
What is my life?
Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
Goodbye, childhood.
This is crack.
Well, I think that'll do it for now. There's many more commercials starring cartoon characters that I can't put in this video, so I'll be sure to come back to them sometime again. Until then, what are your favorite commercials with cartoon characters? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Ben the Looney. Until next time, stay loony, my friends.